For those of you who don't know, Trib Live Radio is now also streaming with a video function. Whenever you call up the player on the laptop, you have an option to either watch or to listen. The good news is you get to see all the exciting things that happen in the studio here. The bad news is if someone like me has to cough or, pick your nose or whatever it is, there's really no solution for it except for Bruce Boudreau head. That's what we have here. This is Bruce Boudreau, of course, the legendary ketchup-stained former coach of the Capitals who is now with the Mighty Ducks. He is going to be my man in saving me from public humiliation. And for those of you who can't see the video, I really do have a Bruce Boudreau head on a plastic knife. We have a fun show for you today. James Neal is going to be our special guest. He's going to talk about Brendan Morrow, the effect that Morrow had on him whenever he first came up with the Dallas Stars. He's going to talk about his own struggles. James Neal hasn't been scoring a lot since Evgeny Malkin went out. He's going to talk about some things that have changed in the Penguins' power play, obviously for the better. We're also going to have Gary Lawless, the columnist of the Winnipeg Free Press, on. The Jets are going to be in town on Thursday. Gary is with the Jets in Raleigh tonight, and we're going to talk about a strange Eastern Conference playoff field. I also want to get you involved. Email me at sportstalk@tribweb.com. You can call later on. We'll be giving you that number as well at 412-320-7925. If you want to talk about James Harrison, whether he's going to be crawling back on his hands and knees. If you want to talk about the Pirates, for mysterious reasons, adding Jonathan Sanchez and Brandon Inge to the roster, I'm game for that too. But again, most of this is going to be pucks. And I'm going to start off today by talking about Jarome Iginla, who you'd think would be in the past tense at this point. When Brendan Morrow was acquired, the Penguins ostensibly had their piece. But Iginla's name keeps coming up. The Canadian national reporters who track this stuff as well as anybody continue to say that the Penguins are one of those teams that keeps talking to the Calgary Flames. They're in on the list along with the Boston Bruins and a couple other teams. I don't think the Penguins are going to get Iginla. I'm not 100% sure that they're trying to get Iginla. But more to the point, I don't know that it's a good idea at this point. I really don't. No, there's no such thing as too much, I guess. But if you brought in Jarome Iginla, think about your reasons for doing it. You would be, in all likelihood, bringing in Jarome Iginla to play with Sid. That's not a good idea. I can guarantee you that. Never mind their chemistry. The locker room wouldn't stand for it. You'd be sending pretty much everyone a message, hey, what you did so far this year was great, but, we're still going to mess with it anyway. Pascal Dupuis, Chris Kunitz have very much earned, above and beyond, earned their spots playing alongside Crosby. So you can't mess with that. So your other option is to take Jarome Iginla and put him on the second line with Evgeny Malkin and James Neal. That's not necessarily a great fit either. Anybody who has watched Iginla play over the years in Calgary, including his great years, his 50-goal years, knows that he is more of a perimeter guy in the sense that he'll dart in and out. He'll score from off to the side. He uses his size and his quickness. He's a boards guy. He's actually a better fit for the Crosby line than he would be for the Malkin line. I'm not saying I'd kick him out if he came, but here's what I like about Brendan Morrow for that second line. He will go to the net. He's not going to overthink it. He'll do his corner work and whatever else, but he's going to go to the net. And if you think about the way Evgeny Malkin likes to play, where he's got it behind the net and he's swinging all the way around the zone, and then think about where James Neal prefers to score most of his goals from. It's the high slot. It's not down in front. Or it's the opposite dot on his off wing. If Brendan Morrow is going to the net on a consistent basis, that takes at least one guy with him, maybe two. That serves two purposes. One, it takes some of the traffic away from the perimeter and gives more room for Malkin and Neal. And 2, it puts somebody there for actual rebounds. One of the things that you notice early on, when the Penguins were trying every left winger and his cousin on that line, and none of them were working out. One of the reasons was those guys would create chances. They'd put pucks on net, and there was nobody there for any kind of rebound. Brendan Morrow is going to be that guy. If I'm Ray Shero, I'm sticking with what I have, maybe adding a little bit more to the fourth line, but I'm not giving up the exorbitant price. And believe me, the Penguins front office is familiar with what the Flames would be looking for here. I mean, you're talking about a first-round pick and probably your top 2 prospects. That's the kind of loot that the Flames ownership will want to come away with for giving away a franchise icon, which is exactly what Iginla is. I don't want to do that. It's not a matter of not wanting to go for it. I just look at the lineup the way it is right now. If there's one more big winger or center for the fourth line, I'll take that. But the rest of this team, I'm leaving intact. And that means no Jarome Iginla.